Rihanna hasn't dropped an album in what, almost 10 years? It's been almost a whole decade since Anti was released. Well, her music still charts, landing spots in the Billboard 200. In early 2025, Good Girl Gone Bad rose from number 148 to number 131 on the Billboard. It was driven by a viral moment of the song Breaking Dishes from the album. And on September 23rd, 2025, the album charted at number 92, and currently it still sits at number 92. I decided to turn the Good Girl Gone Bad track into a blackout poem. I know how it is with these blackout poems. Like putting a puzzle together, it can get frustrating. So this did send me through some little loops of frustrations. I just listed words and phrases from the lyrics that stood out to me, and then I went over it that way to try to come up with the poem. So the words that stood out to me was we, know, home, gone, alone, victim, believe, getting out of control, boys, and easy. And out of all of those, victim stood out the most. I was like, okay, victim I have to use in the poem somewhere, somehow. The rest of them, like the we, no, home, they was calling out to me. I really like the no, home, gone, and alone words. Obviously, those sound like they would be a lot easier to put into a poem. But, when it sounds like that, once you start trying to put it together and it has to be in order of the text or, the lyrics, it starts getting tricky. So the first line I have here, we stay at home with victim brain. Obviously, that's like we stay at home with victim mentality, but mentality is not a word in the lyrics, so we have to go with brain. The good girl goes nowhere. I won't be getting out of control. I can't. So right here, I put I can't because I don't know if I want to use that there or not. Before I had that in there, it was just I won't be getting out of control. I believe once a good girl goes bad, and then I was stuck on this last part. I didn't know if I wanted to say I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys got easy. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys do bad forever. Boys go bad forever. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys treat us better. And obviously I crossed out don't because that was another option. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys don't treat us better. I feel like out of all those, I'm feeling boys don't treat us better the most. Not the don't part. The boys treat us better. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys treat us better. And that actually kind of makes sense because they do be saying guys be liking the girls that's kind of mean to them, once you, and just in general, like once you too nice and people start running over. Look, I know this more than almost anybody because my whole life has been basically like a whole theme of being too nice, having to speak up, and when I do speak up or when I do finally become the bad girl, people don't like it, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to go off like that. You're not supposed to be mean. You're not supposed to be nasty like that. You're not supposed to be the bad girl. You're supposed to stay the good, quiet girl. Just let everything be the peaceful one, the sweet one. Everybody can do this and that. And like, no, you just been letting stuff slide and slide and slide and slide. And then you finally, feel like a line has been crossed and you go off. And the other person is like, whoa. I didn't expect that from you. I don't expect that from you. It's like, well, you're going to expect it now. Another word that was kind of calling out to me was solo, but that was one of those words where I didn't know how I was going to fit that in. And this don't care part, I didn't know how I was going to fit that in. Left us. This freaky dress reminded me of Freakum Dress by Beyonce. I might have to listen to that next too. Ball player in her face. They check the spot. It's just another case. Yeah. So, yeah, I think what I need to do is figure out which of these lines I want to go with for the last line and figure out if I want to keep this I can't part in there, if I want to add something in after that or not. I'll just take this out. And once I get that together, then I'll do the reading. After going over it one more time, I feel like I might just leave the I can't in there. There's really not too much I can add after it because, as you can see, here's the out of control part. And after that is where the I can't comes in. Right here. And then there's not too much after that. before I get, what's the next line I said after that? I believe once a good girl goes bad. See, right after I can't, then I believe. Here's the I, and then believe. So there's not too much in between here to add to that. But I do think it flows well. It makes sense. We stay at home with victim brain, like victim mentality. I guess so. I guess this is like a woman saying, women be staying home while they men's be doing whatever out. They supposed to be working, but they be doing whatever. And she's staying home, keeping the home in order. A good girl goes nowhere. But she's like, you know what? I can't be getting out of control. Because I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys treat us better. A good girl goes nowhere. A good girl staying in the house, but I don't want to do that no more. I won't be getting out of control with that. I can't. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys go bad forever. Nah, see, okay. I think I'm going to take this one out. I don't really like that one. So what if she's saying, okay, I'm going to stay a good girl. Even though this is like this victim mentality or whatever, and I feel like I gotta stay home to be a good girl, I won't be getting out of control doing what modern women are doing. I can't go like that, because if I let myself go that route, if I let myself become the bad girl, I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys don't treat us better. I guess it could go either way, so maybe I could do it like that. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I repaste it down here, take the boys go bad forever out, and the boys got easy. It could be a poem that has two different endings, I guess. We stay at home with victim brain. A good girl goes nowhere. I won't be getting out of control. I can't. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys don't treat us better. We stay at home with victim brain. A good girl goes nowhere. I won't be getting out of control. I can't. I believe once a good girl goes bad, boys treat us better. If you haven't already, go back and watch some of my other blackout poetry videos. I've got some using Cardi B lyrics, The Weeknd, Megan Thee Stallion, and I've got some more coming. So go ahead and check those out. I also have a whole playlist of all my original poetry and songs, because I be writing song lyrics too, and I'm gonna sing my own songs, even though I don't claim myself to be a singer or nothing like that. I'm a poet at heart, but if you write poetry, you can write songs too.